A student in Toronto applies to a gifted program. Her application is screened by an AI. She doesn't get in. A student with nearly identical grades in a wealthier postal code applies to the same program. Same AI, he gets in. Same algorithm, different outcomes. Nobody noticed for 3 years. Versions of this is happening in schools right now, and most educators have no idea. I'm Ellethea, an AI ethics expert based in Alberta, and this channel exists because someone needs to talk about this honestly and specifically for educators. Here's one thing most people assume: AI is objective, it's math, it doesn't have feelings, it doesn't have prejudices, it just looks at the data. And that sounds reassuring, especially in school setting where we're trying to be fair. But here's what the research actually shows. AI systems learn from human generated data, and human generated data carries every bias humans have ever acted on in hiring, in lending, in policing, and in education. So, when we hand the decision to an AI, we're not removing human bias, we're encoding it, automating it, and in many cases, making it invisible. That's the paradox at the heart of AI in education. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to see it, name it, in tools your schools might be already using. Let me give you the simplest version of how this works. Imagine you're training an AI to predict which students are likely to succeed in advanced math. You feed it with 10 years of historical student data, grades, attendance, postal code, name, maybe even which course their parents took. The AI finds patterns and it gets pretty good at predicting outcomes. But here's a problem. For 10 years, students from certain neighborhoods were streamed away from advanced math, not because of ability, but because of assumptions teachers and counselors made. That history is now in the training data. The AI didn't create the inequity, but it learned it. And now it's recommending the same streams faster, at scale, with appearance of objectivity. This is what researchers call historical bias, and it's just one of three types of AI bias you need to know about. The second is called measurement bias. That's when the data used to train the AI doesn't actually measure what it claims to measure. Attendance records doesn't measure engagement. They measure who showed up. Those are very different things in a school, where some kids are caregivers at home. And third, the representation bias. That's when the training data doesn't represent all students equally. If an AI reading tool was trained mostly on text written by white, middle class, English speaking students, it will score the other students' writing as low quality, not because it is, but because it's different from the norm the AI learned. Now you might be thinking, okay, but is this actually happening in Canadian schools? Aren't we more regulated than the US? Canada does have strong privacy protections in some respects. PIPEDA at the federal level, and Alberta's SPOPA, the provincial equivalent across the country. But here's what those laws don't yet do. They don't require schools to audit AI tools for biases before adopting them. PIA's privacy impact assessments are required, but they assess privacy, not bias. And there's no national standard for AI use in education. In 2023, the Office of the Privacy Commissioner of Canada flagged AI decision making in education as an emerging concern. What that means practically: right now, your school board may be using AI tools that have never been audited for bias, and there's no one checking. So, what do you actually do with this? Three questions you can ask your school board. And You don't need to be a tech expert to ask them. One, what AI tools are we currently using to make decisions about students, admissions, assessment, resource allocation, and who approved them? Two, were these tools evaluated for bias before adoption? If so, where is that evaluation? And can staff actually see it? Three, does our school board's AI use comply with Alberta's or your province's student data privacy legislation? You don't need to know how the algorithm works. You need to know who is accountable for it. Those are two different things, and only one of them requires a computer science degree. I'll put these three questions as a free download in the description below. Take them straight to your next staff meeting. AI bias is one piece of the ethics puzzle, but here's a question I get from teachers constantly. What about student privacy? When a child uses an AI tool in class, where does the data actually go? And who owns it? That's exactly what we're covering in the next video. And the answer will likely surprise you. If you're a Canadian educator who wants to stay ahead of this, not just to know what AI does, but understand what it means, go ahead and subscribe. New video every week. The download is in the description. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.